to be about conscious people or not just spiritual people, but conscious people who are doing their work.
Yeah, that's interesting that you said it that way, because you can be spiritual without being conscious.
Yes.
And
it's almost in a form of addiction.
Yeah, that's sliding something into place for me. There's escapism there.
Yes, exactly. Yes, it is escapism. It's
So,
I mean, that's why they call it spiritual bypassing, right?
Right.
Not doing the inner work to hold that.
And you can be conscious without being spiritual.
Yeah.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
Cats are conscious.
Well, cats are just,
Cats.
one step away from gods.
Yep.
So,
I'm just saying.
They have no spiritual aspirations because they are it.
They're it.
They're it.
No?
Yeah, there's nothing to want because they already are it.
I mean,
yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Dogs too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So who's the most evolved on the planet?
There you go.
I'm not so sure. We're drinking our own Kool-Aid over here.
True.
That's a good thing, a good way you put it, Christy, that it's an addiction.
It is.
I think so,
Yep. It's another form of escapism, which is what addiction is.
Anything can be a form of escapism, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
I watch myself do that with human design.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm honest about it, I'm in a very complex Rubik's Cube, just thrashing around.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a long meditation for me.
Yep.
Every day. You know? And at least I tell myself I'm somewhat aware of the fact that I'm actually doing that, right? And that really isn't the process.
Yeah.
The process, the application of the information.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really fine line between going that next level deeper to excavate the next step of application, and just going the next level deeper and the next level deeper and the next level deeper until you're just kind of lost in it to the exclusion of your life.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think the question that Christy posed for us, for our clients, for us if we're doing our question, our Q&A after was what's the next thing they need? Not, just the next SDI. What's the next thing they need? Where do we need to take them next? And I think that's true for me and my experiment, is what's the next thing that's up, right? How do you figure that out for yourself?
By watching what life brings for me. Sometimes it's like that next little point of resistance, and observing that and applying an insight from the thing that I read that's human design material, or the thing that I've just kind of been hashing around a little bit.
Actually trusting like that the universe is always bringing you the next thing and you're already ready for it. And yeah.
So to me, that's part of waiting. You know, waiting is not passive.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks passive from the outside because it doesn't look like action, but it's actually a very, very vibrant activity that's just still.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like you're saying, Sandy, you're watching, you're observing, you're taking in this information about, well, here's where I am, there's where the resistance is. How can I apply this bit of information here in my own life that might help me deal with that resistance right there?
Yeah. Yeah. Or to come into a greater acceptance or an ease about what it is, or maybe it's a readjustment, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's something that I tell clients that are like struggling with, am I doing this right? You know, it's like, you don't have to worry about whether or not you're doing your experiment right, because life is going to show you. Life is going to show you the next thing, and it's not a right or wrong thing. It's okay, life on life's terms. Here's what's coming up. Here's my reaction, my perception, whatever it is, and let me see what that's about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and in mechanical terms, it's, you know, let me see how I'm applying my strategy and authority in this context.
Mm-hmm.
Am I off? Am I listening to my authority? Am I waiting? Am I, you know, waiting for the recognition, or am I pushing, or am I even being recognized?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know, so in this class, the homework is around the ajna as the key to awakening. Okay. And she presented this idea, and it threw me off because she was talking about the fears of the ajna. And I was like, wait a minute. Fears in the spleen. It's not ajna. That's anxiety. That's an anxiety thing. And nervousness is over in the solar plexus. But
They all
then,
have fears. Yeah.
exactly. But their fears, they're all fear, but they're expressed as anxiety or nervousness. I didn't get that distinction. And then I began to look at my own um, relationship to my open centers and how they work together. They don't work separately. Uh, you know, I'm pointing at my experiment and how life brought me through my class this new little thing. And I have to go looking for it. It's like, oh, wait a minute. I have the gate 43, fear of rejection. And it says, having unique perspective, mental anxiety that your ideas are too weird and would be rejected, and the need to make sense to others.
Mm.
And I went, son of a gun, that thing's been hiding there the whole time right in front of me, where I feel like I have to justify my thought process to people.
Just hiding in plain sight, and it revealed itself.
Right there. And so the experiment now for me is I get to observe when that discomfort comes up and I'm feeling like I have to explain myself.
Yeah.
and how that's playing out in my not self. I mean, that alone is taking an action from from my mind, right there. I'm off right away. I'm off.
As soon as you start to justify.
As soon as I start to justify. And I thought that was, I mean, that's how it happens. I think that's how my experiment runs. How about you? How about you guys? Is that similar, different? You got to, how's it work?
Well, I know we had that conversation about the 3635 transit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big one for me. Christy, Doc and I were talking about, was it last week or the week before, the 3635? 36 is still in, right?
36 is Neptune.
Neptune's in 36, so it's all veiled and confusing and all of that. And then 30
gets to the end of the veils.
Yeah. And then 30, Sun was in 35.
For 2.5 years.
Yeah.
2.5 years.
So the 3635 was activating my undefined solar plexus. And I was in this place where I was watching what was going on inside of me, where it was like, this emotional anguish over being bored, but I really wasn't bored. It was kind of like this phantom pain of boredom. These mental gyrations of, well, I want to get out and I want to do something different and I want to have a new experience. But my body was like, oh, no, I'm good. Right. And it got to the point where Bob he actually looked at me one day and he said, "Are you okay?" And I explained to him a little bit of what was going on. I said, "Yeah, I'm fine. It's just this energy that's running through me that I'm just sort of here with, and it was, and getting back to our conversation about addictions, I was catching myself going down that rabbit hole of, researching where I want to go this summer and what I want to do. And, and then seeing, thinking about things I used to do and thinking, well, I've already done that, been there, done that, gate 35. And then I would realize, oh, I'm down that rabbit hole again, that addictive mental thing of wanting to feel something through this amplified experience of emotional energy that I was filtering when the transit came through. So that's what life has shown me lately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm watching that. I'm defined emotionally for 2.5 years. So that manifestor anger, I'm watching myself be pissed off about all kinds of stuff. And I'm going, thank God I know what I know.
Yeah.
Really.
The observer.
I can just go, wow, look at that. You're just being gritchy as you could be.
Yep.
Well, that's not me. That's not me. Thank God I can go, oh, I get to watch what that is, what that feels like, what a manifestor must feel like when they really can't express the transitoriness that they want to.
Mm-hmm.
They're being thwarted in that manifesting. I just want to go out and do this thing. I mean, I should just be able to go out and do that.
Mm-hmm.
and I can't,
Mm-hmm.
well, you know what? Somebody's going to pay.
That's it.
Mm.